In the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
You're tuned in to Rebooting Liberty.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
We are today facing a full-fledged constitutional crisis. The answer is not a monarch from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
You're tuned in to Rebooting Liberty.
Don't wanna wait till tomorrow. Why put it off another day?
Yep, we're running out of time, Patriots. Welcome to the Weekly Reboot, the radio show for the independent grassroots news site rebootingliberty.com. We aim to discuss, inform, find solutions, and spur action. My name is Jared Day. I'm the founder of Rebooting Liberty, and I welcome you on this fine Sunday morning here in Phoenix. It's going to be over 100 degrees today. They caught the I-10 shooter yesterday, but guess what? He says he's innocent, so we'll have to see what comes of that. If you're listening live, thank you very much. This is a brand new show, and we will hopefully be played on K98 in the future, K98 Talk. If you've never listened to K98 Talk, I highly recommend it. There's some incredible shows on there, and that station is growing by leaps and bounds. Some of the shows are aired on terrestrial radio, and my friend Rowdy Rick Robinson is a programming manager. His show, America Off the Rails, is on every day, 7 p.m. Eastern. On Mondays, I sit in with him on the show. This show is going to be limited on time because Spreaker only allows so long of a broadcast. So, airing radio shows cost money, and right now this is what I got. So there'll be a couple of breaks, and I'll play some sound bites. You may hear the same audio elsewhere, but I did put that audio together, and when I use audio that's created by another person or another group, I'll give them credit, give them a hat tip. Today I'm going to run through some very disturbing and sickening facts about veterans and how they've been treated by the federal government. I saw firsthand a couple of weeks ago at the Operation Detain McCain protest at McCain's headquarters in Phoenix. The veterans, they live in the street. You know, some are disabled. They're getting beaten up and robbed by thugs. Thankfully, there's citizens patrolling the streets now watching over them. There's a Facebook page dedicated to these citizen patrols, and I can't think of the name right now, but they are, I believe the Oath Keepers are also involved. There's lots of video available from the protest, and of all places, it was covered by Russia Today, RT.com, and also the failing liberal rag here that we call the Arizona Repugnant. RebootingLiberty.com also has several videos posted that I shot in the video section. It was a peaceful protest, and when we tried to make our way into McCain's office, where we met with Phoenix PD, Pete Santilli organized and ran the event, and when we left the place, it was cleaner than when we got there. It was very peaceful. It was right near McCain's office is a place they call the camp, where vets, homeless vets, stay, and there's tents all over. It's right down the street from McCain's quarters in Phoenix. It's pretty sad. Before I start going over some of those statistics, I got to mention that one veteran in Phoenix was really treated bad in the VA hospital by a triage nurse. When he went into the ER, he was having a panic attack, and this nurse Ratchet gave him the boot, threw him out on the street, no medical aid. This guy voluntarily serves his country, and he goes in, he needs help, and the nurse throws him out because he's having a panic attack. These guys and these men and women, they finish their tours, sometimes multiple tours. They get honorably discharged and then cast aside because they're, in the eyes of the federal government, they're now a burden. They can't serve them anymore. And they now, why do I say this? It's terrible. But, it's obvious. They voted to cut benefits. They treat illegals better than our finest men and women. They sacrificed and their family sacrificed. It's completely backwards. It's disgusting. It's unjust. It's unlawful. Who's going to do anything? Not John McCain. He was one of the senators that voted to cut benefits. Something's got to be done. You got to vet your candidates this primary season. Make sure they'll work with other members of Congress that also have some dignity to take care of these men and women. It's awful. In Arizona, John McCain's primary challenger, Kelly Ward, is a doctor, and she promises to be a driving force in fixing the problem, get them what they need. I do have some audio I'll try to pull up later. I got to ask her a few questions at the National Federation Republican Women's Convention. Well, I'm going to play that audio, then we're going to come back and talk more about veterans. I have an open letter from a Vietnam veteran to Donald Trump and Ben Carson, and we'll hear that after this break.
Big round of applause for her.
Thank you all so much. It is wonderful to be here in the desert by this ranch with so many freedom-loving patriots. Yes, you are all patriots, and it is amazing to see what peaceful civil disobedience can accomplish, because this was the first shot across the bow, and we won this battle. Yes. You might wonder why somebody from Arizona is here in Nevada to fight this battle. Well, my district, in fact, goes right up to the Nevada line, and many of my constituents said, what's going on up there? Get up there and find out. We want to know from your perspective what's happening, and you represent us, so we expect you to go. We want you to go find out, because we do not want anything like this to come into Arizona, because it's unconstitutional, and we are not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for this massive federal overreach, unconstitutional federal overreach. We want to reset the proper balance between the state government and the federal government. And really, I'd love to have a lot of leaving alone zones. We should be leaving people alone. People are able to determine how to eat, how to find water, how to live without the government intervening and telling them what to do. So, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I will be in Arizona fighting for freedom, fighting for liberty, fighting for small government, fighting for less taxes, and I take the oath that I took to our Constitution very seriously. So I will be there fighting for our constitutional rights as well. I thank you all for letting me be here to talk. I really did not plan to talk. I'm not planning to be here for the press conference that was supposed to happen on Monday. I just wanted to be here to be part of history with all of you as we stood up to the federal government, and they heard us roar. They heard our liberty roar, and I hope you guys won't stop here. You will continue it. You will tell your friends. You will tell your neighbors, and get more and more people, because we can accomplish great things. We, the people. Thank you.
For the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Yeah. Now that is an example of a state senator listening to their constituents. There was a few other members of the legislature that went up to Nevada, and like she said, her district is right on the line. So that's Kelly Ward. She really needs national support. So even if you're in whatever state you're in, if you want to go on Facebook and join the National Grassroots team, please do that. It's easy to find. Just type in Kelly Ward National Grassroots. It'll pop up. And just by spreading the word in your own state and getting her name in all the states, people, rallying for her. Remember Dave Bratt and Eric Cantor. It can be done. This is the year Sean Hannity predicted in July. He said this is the John McCain's going to be put out of office this cycle. So we need she needs the help from everybody. So just share on social media. Tell your friends to follow her on Twitter and like her Facebook page and keep up. Join the group. I got really busy a while back, and a couple of good friends, offered to take over my Facebook page. I just never had time to post on it, and I'm really thankful that they jumped in, and what they've done with it is amazing. They've had things go viral, and they've just built that page up. And, you know, I guess I can name Angela Sanders and Denisa Calvert. Thank you so much. And when you're getting a lot of traffic on a Facebook page, often you get lots of messages coming in, and some of them are nasty, and, you know, some are good, but once in a while you get one like what Angela was getting from somebody that wants to be heard. They want their voice heard. They want their thoughts out there for more people than just a few Facebook friends. And this happened to be a Vietnam vet who was in his 80s, and he had some trouble with the typing it out with the grammar and stuff. So Angela was kind enough to take his what he got down, and she edited it up and posted it on rebootingliberty.com for this veteran. And it's an open letter to Ben Carson and Donald Trump. I'm going to read it. His name is Scott Algren. He's a Marine Corps vet he was in Vietnam. And this is him talking. I'm just going to read it verbatim. And I'm going to put, in 1985, while a guest of the state of California, I had the privilege to fight fires and work in county parks, etc., while attached to Camp La Cima Julian. I left with several $100s in my pocket. I was able to get out of the cage, eat well, and developed a sense of self-worth. Pastor Chuck Colson of Watergate fame stated in his visionary work on prison reform that upwards of 80 to 90% of all inmates are nonviolent criminals. Properly supervised, they could live in tents along the southern border states. It supplied thousands of men and women who would love to get out from behind the walls as I did. A buck an hour, good chow, along with thousands of workers, the wall would be built. It was completed quickly. To the point of illegal immigration, our representatives need to enforce the laws already in existence, impose heavy fines, jail time to those who hire people who've criminally and illegally entered America. For example, no jobs, no government handouts, nothing. Our illegal immigration problem would be cut in half, as most would self-deport. In reference to the nonviolent illegal immigrants and criminals residing in our southern border prisons, quite a few commit crimes to get drugs and alcohol. Others commit crimes as a result of being under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Lastly, those crimes committed to pursue the criminal lifestyle of trafficking. Many of these nonviolent crimes have led to the death of American citizens due to criminal negligence. I propose a win-win situation to both illegal immigration and cost-effective plan to secure our border. It would take hundreds of Border Patrol agents and prison guards to oversee incarcerated inmates allowed outside the walls of the prison into an honor camp work program. If an inmate walks off an honor camp job or assignment, he or she must immediately be sent back to prison for a minimum of a 1 year or return to isolation lockdown. In addition, if said criminal refuses to uphold the honor deal, all outside privileges will be revoked. I believe America can put our prisoners to work. It saves taxpayer money, in turn creating career opportunities for additional prison guards needed to fulfill the mission. Mr. Trump and Dr. Carson, I urge you to take these ideas into consideration. One of you could be our next president. It's imperative we secure our borders and take care of Americans first. Who will make America great again? Will Donald Trump or Dr. Ben Carson? Listen to an American veteran. Will they listen? We haven't heard from Mr. Trump or Dr. Carson, but over 3,000 people did listen. They did read the article, and a lot of people commented. And again, thank you, Angela Sanders. It was wonderful that you did this for Mr. Algren. And thank you so much, Denisa and Angela, for taking care of that page. Amazing job. So we were talking about illegal immigration. I want to say a couple things about legal immigration. They say everybody comes here to work. They all come here to work. Well, not necessarily. They don't all come here to work. And this is just the legal immigrant households. Half of the legal immigrant households are on welfare. Some of those people might be working and still able to qualify for welfare, but the argument that they just come here to work and if you count the number of households that include kids, that number is 70% on welfare. So these numbers come from the Center for Immigration Studies, and it's a fairly new report. The whole article is on rebootingliberty.com with charts and the whole deal. I'm not going to get into numbers, but the Census Bureau projects that